I really like some of the textures in that little musical idea you just heard, and there's a bit of a story behind this. I was doing some research for the Logic Dubstep course, and I was looking for the equivalent of Ableton's scale MIDI plugins. So I had an idea about actually using chord memorizers to do the same job. Went onto the Wikipedia page, I was going to be looking up the scales. I just realized it was going to take me a long time if I was actually going to do that all by hand. So I wondered, maybe someone else has done this. Went to a forum and I found this user Jordito from Spain who's actually done exactly that. They've created a macro that contains lots of chord memorizers, all set up so that basically when you're playing the keys on the keyboard, if you play a note that's not in the scale, it's automatically remapped to a note that is in the scale. So this is a great tool for composition. So this is off at the moment. Look at the scale remapper here, the keys. This is showing you what the end result is, and I'm going to play the musical scale on the keyboard now. So just the white notes on the keyboard, nothing was changing because the whole thing is off. Now look what happens if I turn it on. So it's adapted what I was playing. Now specifically, if you have a look, there's my C, I'm playing D, I'm actually playing E. So I'm not playing D sharp. Okay, so look, once again. So it's altering the notes that I'm playing in. Let's go for a different scale. A different flavor each time. So it's a very clever tool. If you guys want to make music and you're not musically trained, this is going to really give you a helping hand. So the idea that you saw before essentially was helped by this. I was actually using the scale to create a nice kind of bed of texture that's going to work musically, and then putting the bass line on top. So what I'll do is I'll take you through the steps and you can see how it was done with the help of this specific macro. The first thing you need to do is download the macro. So the path is at the top of the screen. This is on Geordie's Box.net account. Download it as quick as you can. You never know, he might decide to take it down. Now when you've got that zip file, unzip it. Inside is a Logic project that looks like this. So these are his settings. I'm going to take away the effects settings, starting from scratch. And the piano is here. That's going to be a great starting point. I want to expand on that. Let me just quickly show you though. If we go to Window, Environment, we can see the layer that he's created. So you potentially might be seeing clicks and ports. Drop it down to the scale remapper and you can see it here. But you don't have to worry about that because it's a floating window on the arrange window. So that's really nice, very accessible. Now what I did was I added delay, stereo delay. I took my feedback high. It was about 90%. Let me show you how that sounds now. Nice and dubby. Gonna come down, reverb, platinum verb. This I'm going to take reverb time 20 seconds, the longest, high cut all the way up. Reverb and early reflections balanced to 100% reverb, taking away the initial delay here. Wet mix to 100% and dry to 0. So I'm only hearing the affected signal. Now, if I push the keys hard, it's nice and bright, but we also get quite dangerous levels here. I'm just going to stick a limiter on. And that means I can get away with hitting things really hard. Just keep things under control. Of course, if you've seen one of our other videos, you'll know that there's tons of headroom anyway, but personally, I don't like to see things going into the red on my channel strip. So the limiter there is just catching things if I go too loud. So the idea that I had was literally to just jam on top. You know, any of these keys will sound great. I'm going to take my keyboard up a couple of octaves. Really nice ambient textures. Doesn't matter what keys I hit, it's always going to sound great. So the concept is, you know, just literally hit some keys on top of your musical idea and you're going to get some interesting vibes and textures. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over to the original project and we are going to come over here and switch into that. And I've got the original piano up here. What I'll do is I'll just take this away just in case I like that and want to keep it. Just going to set up the cycle left and right and I'm going to record some jamming on top. We're going to see what happens. So here we go. So let's take a look. Here's the region data. That's what I was playing in. Just random hits on the keyboard, sort of going up and down, varying different approaches, just seeing what happens. So it's a really easy way to get some musical vibes into your compositions without needing that musical theory.